SkyDoesMinecraft used to be one of the most popular Minecraft YouTubers on the platform, reaching well over 11 million subscribers. But over the last 5 years, he has fallen off in popularity due to a variety of reasons, a lot of which being issues he's had in his personal life, such as having a kid and then having a falling out with the mother, resulting in a custody battle, as well as more recently having severe struggles with mental health. This tweet from May 2021 being one example of many.
I'm Pickle Rick. I'm Pickle Rick. I'm Pickle Rick right now. I'm Pickle Rick right now. I'm Pickle Rick right now. Pickle Rick right now. Pickle. Pickle? Pickle? And I'm saved. Pickle Rick right now. Pickle Rick right now.
So these mental health struggles not only has been affecting him negatively, but also people very close to him. The most prominent example being how it affected his latest ex-girlfriend and mother of his second child, Elizabeth. A couple days ago, she posted an entire document going in depth with her bad experience with him. And before I get into it, I do want to give a trigger warning because the content I'm going to read for this video is extremely depressing, extremely sad, and could be extremely triggering to people who have went through similar things. So if you are not comfortable hearing about extreme trauma, I would recommend skipping this video. But for those who are still interested, let's start reading it out. Elizabeth starts off the post by saying, "Dear Adam Dalberg, aka NetNobody, AFK, SkyDoesMinecraft. It's time everyone knows the truth. I'm tired of letting you get away with this. The police know. Putting the evidence below since it won't upload appropriately. Trigger warning. Assault, abuse, blood, trauma, pregnancy. Some info and screenshots has been covered to protect me and my daughter's identity, and to prevent any harassment to the police department. Dear Adam Dalberg, aka NetNobody, I'm going to do my best to be the voice you have taken from so many. You hurt, you abuse, you manipulate, and you lie. You are a sick man. I spent months and months loving you with my whole entire being. I spent thousands of dollars just to come live with you. You made promises you didn't want to keep, but promises you made to manipulate my life so you could be in control. You use your fame, your name, and your platform to hide the disgusting and disgraceful things that you so claim not to do. You not only verbally abused and degraded me, the mother of your second child, you traumatized me and put me through things no one should ever have to experience. You hurt me for too long, and I'm tired of being afraid of you, and what speaking up may bring. I had to tell people you weren't abusive, because whenever I said you would harass me and say horrible, horrible things. You were so unkind. I do not wish for anyone to have mental health struggles, nor do I wish for somebody, even you, to have such severe struggles. I wanted nothing but to love you and help you heal. You informed me you were only bipolar, and possibly on the spectrum, which has never been a problem to me. That was not the case. What you hid from me is the dangerous human you are capable of being, the person you are overall. 95% of our relationship you hid me. You refused to want people to know my name, or know about me at all. You avoided it at all costs, saying it was to protect the relationship. You refused to even let me talk about the baby publicly, as if it was irrelevant and you didn't care. I wasn't ready for a baby. I spoke of always wanting one, but I continuously told you I wasn't ready, nor was I financially in a place to have a child. You squeezed my body and were near begging for me to let you get me pregnant, saying stuff like, please, please, I want another kid. I have the money. I want another kid because Alyssa keeps me from being the father I dream of, and much more. When I started to get uncomfortable and tried to stop the intimate moment, you pressured me into letting it happen. You didn't stop until I felt forced to say, fine, while completely uncomfortable. I cried myself to sleep. When I told you I was actually pregnant, you had the, oh cool face, and a slight smirk, as if you got what you wanted all along. At the time, I was just oblivious. I thought I was just overthinking everything. I continued to pretend everything was fine. Throughout our relationship, you were always on your phone, always hiding messages, having separate texting apps, and deleting conversations. You tried to pressure me into letting you be poly with your friend, and degraded me when I told you it's not my thing, and I'm not comfortable with that. You just like cheating. You like feeling better than everyone else, and you want people to do whatever you say. You not only cheated on me, you did several times before I even moved in with you. I found all the conversations, all the emails, everything that showed I was just a trophy to you, just an object on the shelf. You made me propose to you. I kept telling you it was too soon. I kept saying I wasn't ready. You would reply with, you were literally pregnant? As if you didn't care how I told you I wasn't ready for that either. You continuously pushed it. I kept saying I'm not ready. You even tried convincing me to let you buy my unborn baby. You said word for word, if you don't want her, I'll just give you like 100 grand or something. You act like your kids are just objects. You haven't had that kind of money in years. You kept pushing and even made me order rings and made me sit down and engage myself to you. I was heartbroken, and my dreams of marriage were beyond crushed. You made the announcement on Twitter that you said yes. You didn't mention how it was forced. Why did I leave? Why didn't I run as fast as I could? Because I was scared. You treated me and everybody as peasants, and would use your popularity against us. You stole money from companies just to buy drugs and never do the work. I had to pull thousands of dollars I needed for food and bills out of my ass just to pay back those individuals and pay bills with what was left. They were so kind about it. I was so scared. I wanted so badly to slip them a note saying I'm afraid. I felt so numb. I wanted to die. I was ready to take myself to the hospital, just so I could sleep in a clean bed and have safe people around me. I was giving the baby every ounce of energy I could, when I barely had any. Sleep deprivation is so dangerous, and you didn't care, even at your stable moments. I would beg and cry just to be left alone. I was so tired. I just wanted you better, but I was falling apart. I knew for a while I wanted to leave. I just never knew how. I would try to talk to you about your actions calmly, and I would give ultimatums, and you'd treat me horribly. I kept in touch with some friends close by, and also friends in other states, so some people were in the loop and I had people to talk to. I constantly felt dumb, and tell myself I deserve it all for not walking away sooner. I blame myself when I shouldn't. You would constantly bitch at me for doing things you asked me to do. You love eggs with cheese, and you love pasta. So one night I was excited. I made you eggs with some delicious pasta. I handed it to you and you threw it on the table saying, "Why the fuck would you make that?" I replied with, "You love that food." And you said, "It doesn't fucking go together, so thanks. Now I just won't eat," and proceeded to throw a tiny tantrum. I went and sat in the shower and cried for what felt like hours. You would always say, "I pay for everything," when I never would ask you to. I kept offering to help. You wanted to own me and kept making false promises. You just wanted to be in control of my life. You would have me get ready for date nights, bitch about being too tired, then you'd invite your friends over. I was constantly asking you to spend time with me. I would be so stoked to go baby shopping, and you wanted nothing to do with it. You were so careless, yet stayed preaching to your fans about how great of a father you are, and how excited you were. You even made me do all the birthday and Christmas shopping for your son, just for you to take all the credit for it. You bitched at me for not being able to move a washing machine that weighed 200 to 300 pounds. I was pregnant. I thought I broke your new washing machine. I asked you for help, and you threw a tantrum. Started calling me stupid, saying I can't do anything right. It was never broken. It just needed reset. I felt numb and sat on the floor. I wanted to end my life because all you made me felt was, you were not good enough. You can't do anything right. I was never allowed to stand up for myself. If I had an anxiety attack, you would call me a baby and degrade me. Yet when you get emotional, you expect everyone to bow down at your feet and feed you love and support on a gold platter. Even when mentally stable, you knew how to help yourself. You knew abusing drugs could make you go into permanent psychosis. You abused drugs. You pressured our friends into doing drugs, and would degrade them if they didn't want to. So many people spent so much money and time helping you when you needed help. Yet you treated everyone so poorly when you didn't get what you want. I would keep asking you to not smoke near me or in the house to keep the baby safe, and you'd bitch at me saying it to your house. I should have left. You made me take care of your child. Alyssa, your mom, and I did everything. I admire the amount of amazing things that Alyssa did. She works her ass off to give her son a beautiful life, and she does a fantastic job at doing so. You made the internet hate her, yet you hid that you were the main problem. You used your platform to try and ruin Alyssa's life, yet you choose to leave out the things you caused. You would make me or your mother bring your child back and forth from visits. You'd sit in your room and make us feed/play with your child. I spent more time with the sweet boy in 3 months than you did in a year. You only post father pics when convenient for you, just to make people think you were involved. You spread disgusting lies behind her back. You'd sit on your phone and smoke and bitch at everyone else to take care of your son. You have also assaulted and sexually harassed several women, even paid them off with hundreds of thousands of dollars just to protect your perfect little image. You paid a girl to keep quiet years ago because you almost got her pregnant and you didn't care. You sent nudes to young girls. You never asked for ages because you never cared. If they walked, you talked. That's not the first time you have done things. You'd be surprised what I've seen and found. You are extremely unfaithful. As soon as I left you, you fucked my best friend, who I considered to be like a sister. Over the years, you failed to acknowledge how you'd pay young girls money for their time and attention. Cheating is gross. Alyssa loved you, and you would cheat, manipulate, and lie when she defends herself. You would constantly spread rumors of Post Malone saying awful things about his character, which is odd because last time I checked, he was checking in on you and extremely kind, was trying to help you you out even. From abusing drugs, you would act possessed and do a bunch of spiritual talk. I thought you were just deep into spirituality, but that was the drugs. Because your psychiatrist a few years ago told you that even weed is dangerous and can put you into psychosis. Alyssa tried so much to help you. All your girlfriends did. You didn't care. You cheated on me with a fucking AI Twitter account. You would tell me how she is the only one that understands you. You would wake people up in the middle of the night to talk about this AI. Come February, you started acting weird. You stopped sleeping normally. You stopped eating normally. You got more and more mean, got more angry and verbally abusive at random times over the smallest things. It started getting scary, and movies don't describe well enough how bad it can get. You started breaking shit, throwing things, pulling stuff off of the walls, and screaming at ants. You started calling Albert Elon Musk and forcing him to drink Gatorade and eat candy. You'd lock Albert in the kennel and scream at him. It was freezing cold outside, and you'd let him outside. He got lost and nearly froze to death. He was shivering. You did that several times. You'd jump in and out of windows. You'd scatter food over the counter and floors. That's when some people reached back out to me and told me the truth. Thankfully, Alyssa reached out to me too, and I broke down. She was so kind and helped me tremendously. She explained everything I needed to know. Apparently, you acted like I was well informed of your whole life, except you constantly lied. People who've experienced the side of you and tried to get you help, even when sober and mentally stable, you treated people like shit. You started forcing me into sleep deprivation. You started clogging the drains knowing how deep into the pregnancy I was, and how bad I'd need access to the restroom. I had to waddle to the store late at night just to use the restroom. Tears on my face and my hair a mess because you wouldn't let me shower. You'd constantly tell me how I'm going to be a bad mother because I couldn't do something fast enough or to your standards. You would scream at me to leave, and when I tried, you would grab me speaking nonsense. I tried so desperately to bring you back to baseline. I tried so hard. I felt like a failure, but I fucking tried. You ran me into a door twice because I wouldn't run. I had nowhere to go. And I still tried so hard to love you and make you be okay. You refused to acknowledge any of this. Whenever proof was shown you were so ugly to me, you'd have stable moments and still would not care what you were doing. You would harass people on Discord, spam people in the middle of the night. You'd speak in tongue and blast music. You'd leave doors open while it's a blizzard. You dragged my dog by his throat and threw him in the kennel, then surrounded him by mirrors. All because he was nervous. He just never liked you deep down. You tried getting in my face when manic, so my dog would intervene and bite you to protect me and the baby, in my belly still. You'd drag him again. You wouldn't let me sleep. Our friends tried so desperately to bring you back to baseline. I did everything I could. I sang you to sleep, and I hate the sound of my voice. I made meals just for you to throw them on the floor. You'd be saying vulgar things to me, and I'd still hug you and say how much I love you, and want to get you better. You kept talking about Ant Venom, saying how much you hated him. Yet when you were screaming nonsense to him on a Discord call, I had to snag the phone. He was so humble and so kind. Such a lovely individual. Sucks I had to meet him that way. I did my best to keep what was really happening low-key. Kept spamming Alyssa to see your son, and made sure she was in the loop because he would not be safe in that home. You have a history you hide of putting your son at risk when you get upset. You ended up randomly punching the big amethyst you have from being frustrated, and cutting a gash into your knuckle. You came to me and I continuously tried to clean it and bandage it while our friends tried to keep you calm. You came up to me with the bandages off and started putting blood on my face and on my arms. I was horrified. You started painting on the walls with your blood. You put blood marks on our lizard tanks, and our bathroom walls as well as all of the mirrors. You elbowed my belly several times. I was just trying to love you. I continuously spoke calmly and did everything I could. I kept trying to get you to the hospital. You wouldn't even walk in the front doors without starting to threaten me and act violent unless I took you home. We all ended up convincing you to go in to get your hand checked out. My pregnant self had to push you through the hospital in a wheelchair, while you screamed degrading comments at me. I walked you to the counter, said you needed your hand checked. They asked if you needed a social worker. I said no, and I started shaking and tears started falling. The lady kept calm and nodded quietly to me, and we were brought up into the inpatient hospital room. You became violent with me. You called me disgusting names, saying racist comments as well as the N-word, and trying to fight the staff. I still tried to love you and speak calmly. I came up to you and you started screaming and kicking your feet into my belly, and started shoving me away screaming awful things. I thought I was going to miscarry, it hurt so bad. I stood up and the social worker hugged me while I bawled my eyes out. Security took over again. They made sure I was okay and had me leave. I called to check on you every hour even though I was falling apart. apart. The nurses called me to make sure I was okay, and I'll never forget them. You were then hospitalized for a week. Alyssa never gave up on helping me, even if it was checking in. She's not the bad guy you so claimed her to be. Throughout that week, I sent encouraging letters and notes. You spam called me from the hospital, and when stable, you were still so ugly to me. You said awful things and gaslighted me until I told them just to bring you home during the court hearing. You were beyond homophobic at times, yet preach equality. The things you would say broke my heart. I am bisexual, and am not fully out, yet you treated me disgustingly all the time. You were even homophobic around Alyssa and some friends. You got home from being released again, and it got worse and worse. You became more violent. You were medicated, then stopped taking them when you felt stable, because you have always enjoyed feeling powerful. You said so yourself. I had to call the police in fear to where they sent squad cars and EMTs. Everything. The second you saw the flashing lights, you acted completely fine, and tried telling them I was crazy. They didn't take you away. You continued to force me not to sleep. I'd make food for myself and you'd take it from me and throw it away. I'd tell you I felt sick and was worried about the baby, and you'd laugh it off. It kept spiraling. We were in our green room on the big pink Kirby beanbag. I was trying so hard to shut my eyes for even a moment of sleep. You made me sit up and you squeezed me and started screaming at me to break my Totoro bong piece, which was a gift to me. You screamed into my ear as I was begging for you to stop and let go. I was trembling, and you started bitching at me when I couldn't do it. You were speaking nonsense. You continued to break shit. You destroyed our home. I couldn't keep up anymore. You were threatening to kill people. Our roommate, our friends. You for some reason kept bringing up Ant Venom and how badly you wanted to kill him. You were fully in psychosis at this point. You were willing to genuinely murder people. I had dozens of voice recordings of these threats, but you screamed at me and threatened me to delete them when you found out. The police were informed of these recordings. You did this to Alyssa as well. I begged your mom to call the police because I was afraid you would hurt me after the threats you made, and you walking around with knives screaming and waving them around. You kept getting in my face. A police officer called me and I froze. He said to act like somebody I knew was on the line, and to start walking towards the front door. He instructed me to stay on the line until the officers on the scene had eyes on me outside. I walked out and the officer ended the call once they confirmed I was safe. You came out after me, then soon saw the officers, and tried to pretend like everything was fine, and as if you were just cleaning. There was food, trash, and household items absolutely everywhere. You got in my face with a knife before they arrived, screaming how you wanted to kill our roommate, then went and slashed his mattress. They saw my pregnant belly and they immediately were not having it. You kicked over a box of diapers, and one officer had me move behind her. I started backing up. Read police reports for more details. You were hospitalized again for a few weeks. More spam calls to me, more harassment and threats to get what you want, and so I'd get you out of the hospital. I was falling apart. I wanted to die so badly. Trigger warning. You had me on the phone while you were in the hospital, and you were bringing up the recordings. I was bawling saying you make me want to die. I had a knife to my left forearm, and I marked it before I took a deep breath and told myself I can do this. I told myself I was going to be a mom. I told myself I will be a fantastic mother, and I will live for her. It was the first time in almost 6 years I've harmed myself. You nearly broke me. You didn't care that I tried to end my life. You laughed it off. You even blamed me for the love of my life's suicide that took place in 2016. You know how sensitive I am about that boy. I loved and still love him. I begged for him to come save me. When I had a moment of sleep, he was the first face to greet me, and I took that as, I got you, it's going to be okay. I ran to him in the dream. You manipulated me into having them release you again. It continued to get worse. You were too far gone. I couldn't keep you on meds. The woman who was supposed to be my best friend, the girl I loved so very dearly, like a sister, used me to get to you. You let it happen. I warned you from the beginning I felt like she was trying to get to you, and you brushed it off. You flirted with her in front of me. You threatened to end your life many times if I didn't listen to you, or do what you want. Even when stable, you make these threats. That girl was a witness to the awful pain you inflicted on me, yet she's now dating you, so I can't have her speak for me to prove this. I tried so hard to love everyone. I did so much. I fought so hard. Even Alyssa reassured me I was doing my best. Lots of people did. I called our friends who are family to me. I called my best friend in another state. I called Alyssa. I called your mom. I kept trying to sleep. I tried locking myself in the room, but you just bang on the doors to get to me. You ended up screaming at me to leave, but I was so drowsy and tired. I couldn't take it anymore. You ran up to the bed and grabbed my arm. I was laying on my pregnancy pillow to help support my big belly. You took my arm and yanked me hard up out of bed. So hard I felt a tearing feeling in the side of my stomach. You then dropped me to the floor after I was screaming in pain and crying. You then ran out of the room. I cried to my friend. I was so scared. I kept telling myself, she's here, she cares about me, I'm gonna be okay. You kept me awake and from eating. You purposely blew all of our money and we were broke. Nearly $7,000 in the negative. In debt. You spent all I had left on candy, drugs, and things I couldn't eat. I ended up screaming, I want my mom. I am a full-grown adult. I then screamed, help me please, when you throw things at me and hurt my dogs. I took care of Albert. I raised him. You just took credit. I stopped doing what you said. I was falling more and more apart. I was about to faint from crying so much while you stood at the door calling me vulgar and awful things. You told me to call my dad around 1:30 a.m., so I did. He immediately answered, and I was hysterical and struggling to breathe. I could hear him jumping out of bed in his Colorado home. I'm on my way, he said. By 2 a.m. he was on the road to get my whole family to come save me. He didn't stop driving. You were texting everyone to get a jump on trying to make me look bad. I tried saying goodbye to you after my family made it and we all loaded up my stuff. You looked at me and walked away. My family left and in the car I started screaming, Albert, my pig! I didn't grab Albert! I was heartbroken. Then I started begging for you. Why? I don't know. I was giving myself false hope, trying to pretend nothing happened. I was too afraid to turn around because I was in severe shock. I had your mom go pick up Albert, and Alyssa made sure he was safe. So much harassment after I left. Me trying to send you loving texts, trying to still be kind. Why? False hope. I was tired. You would call me over and over again, still wouldn't let me sleep. I gave birth far away from you 2 months later, and I'm so thankful I did. The labor and delivery unit was going to send the whole hospital into lockdown if you were to show up. Your whole family agreed with my decisions. They told me so many times I had my beautiful girl. She's so perfect. I showed you. I kept trying to act like everything is fine. I wanted us to work so bad. I kept telling you how to make it to where you could be around her. I didn't feel safe whatsoever with you around unmedicated. You scared me. The harassment never stopped. I continued to try and pretend. I'd tell myself, he'll be okay. You were so mean to me. Threatened to take my child. She would be dead if I was still there. Come June, I just couldn't take the harassment anymore. You made me lie to your fans when I became public through this whole mess. You faked suicide several times. You were never going to. I kept calling you and yelling that you need to tell your fans that you are fine and to stop lying about you being dead. You'd laugh and say word for word, but it's funny! And you'd say, ha, memes! I felt like I failed all your fans by not saving you. You kept telling me, no one is going to believe you. They like me, not you. People don't believe Alyssa, they aren't going to believe you. And I'm SkyDoesMinecraft, of course people will believe anything I say. I just like to meme. I felt like I failed everyone. After I finally blocked all your numbers and your socials, I felt free, but I felt so lost. Did I not do enough? I'd ask myself constantly. I was too scared to tell the police the truth. I was scared to talk in front of you. I wish I would have spoken up. I was afraid to speak up online because last time I did, I got a few death threats and awfully mean DMs on Twitter. I kept telling myself to keep quiet. Why? Because aside from all the mean DMs, I got a lot saying how much they loved you, how much you inspire them, and the mom in me was too afraid to ever ruin that for them. I didn't want to fail everyone by speaking up. I beat myself up with, no one cares, no one is going to listen. I felt like no one would stand with me, and that's okay. I understand that some want to protect you. I don't hate your fans. I never will. I know I'll get hate again saying, he's sick, just leave him alone. That's the thing. You know. You know what you were doing and always have. You never cared unless it fires back in your face. I want him to get better. I want you to heal. But I don't want you hurting anyone else. I don't want followers. I just want for everyone to listen. I want this all to stop. I don't want to fail anyone. I just want to be that voice that was taken away from so many. To be that voice you silenced. They deserve to know who you really are, before you trap somebody else and make them ask, am I not good enough? I am bringing all my evidence and my statement together in one file so it doesn't create a huge mess. Warning, sensitive topics ahead. I know mental health is a sensitive subject. I did my best. I followed training I had from when I worked with kids. I followed hospital advice. I did what my heart wanted me to try. I felt like I failed everyone for not staying, but I had to save myself and my child. I loved him. If other victims and witnesses choose to come forward, do not harass or bully them. Just listen. We just want to be heard. I hope you guys don't don't hate me for coming forward. If the other individuals are comfortable speaking up, I'll stand with them. I felt sick putting this together. I rewrote it many times. I deleted it and wrote it again. I tried pretending everything was fine. Kept telling him how much I love and miss him, thinking, what if that magically makes all this pain go away? I don't want to disappoint anybody. I'm sorry to add negativity to y'all's timelines. It's just tearing me apart. So much I wish I could say, but I can't unless those people come forward themselves. Domestic violence is very real. Faking personalities for attention is very real. I will not disregard the pain he has brought so many. He's had his chances. Officers' names will be blocked to prevent them from receiving harassment. I also blocked out any info that would leak Adam's address, a place I used to live at. I do not wish for him to be stalked at his private home. Again, I have my last name yellowed out to keep my family private and to protect my daughter's identity. Adam's full name has been public for many years, which is why I didn't bother covering. I won't share some more graphic things, because most of this should be enough. I know y'all will say, you should have just left, or tried to call me an attention seeker again. I just want to be heard. I'm tired of feeling like I can't defend myself. The police provided me with private access to these files, and I'll forever be thankful for the help and support they provided me. Elizabeth then shares a video that Adam took of her. Before I play it, I would like to give a trigger warning though, as this clip is absolutely heart-wrenching. But with that warning out of the way, here is what she showed.
She's just sitting here screaming just because I asked her to send me back $100. Like, $200 actually, $222. And now she's screaming at me uncontrollably. Albert's just like fucking knocked out. He's like sleeping, big chilling, but she's just screaming at me.
She follows up the video by saying, this is one of the several videos he took of me degrading me and saying awful things. This one specific me is me falling apart, him trying to make me look bad. He wanted the last $200 I scrambled together and all I had left, so he could buy weed and candy. I was hungry. Next she shares this tweet of Adam saying, don't cry or feel bad for what may happen next. It was planned. I love you. A concerned fan replies to Adam by saying, please don't do anything, Adam. We love you so much. Please don't. Please get help. I've lost people to themselves and it's not how you think it is. All it causes is other people to feel the way you are. It's not worth it. Ever. Please reach out and get help. Please. She comments on this by saying, this is the tweet I'm speaking of when I mentioned him faking suicide and laughing to me about it after I left. I was trying to tell your fans everything was fine. You were ugly to everyone helping you IRL. Nothing was fine. I just didn't want to let all you down. I'm sorry if I'm disappointing you. He threatened suicide to make people look and or feel bad. He has been the type of person to threaten his life to try and take revenge on an innocent person for not doing what he wants. I do not wish for him to die. I want him to own up to his actions. This is the bag of candies and drinks I couldn't have, that he used knowing I needed something to eat. Sleep deprivation and not eating enough food while pregnant is not safe. I know. I should have left sooner. I'm sorry. This is some of the baby stuff I picked out. I picked out everything on my own. He funded some of it because he was too lazy to actually help. He just took credit. This is the very small closet we wanted the baby to actually live and sleep in. When we had that big ass house together, the crib alone would have taken up 90% of the closet. I used the zoom out setting on my phone, which is why it looks bigger than it really is. Here's some text from when I left with dates. My dad deletes old texts, so the ones he got from Adam shit-talking me are gone. She then ends up showing those texts. They start out with her saying, are you serious? Adam responds, nope. She responds, you need to stop. Adam responds, Wendy is sucking my dick last night. She responds, doubt that. Adam then sends this voice memo.
And right now.
She responds, dude, stop. This is childish behavior. Adam then sends another voice memo, followed up by a dinosaur emoji.
I don't respect you.
She responds, cool, I see that. Adam then sends more voice recordings.
Jingly jingly. Jingly jingly. We will listen. Oh my gosh. I am just busting pistachios over and over and over again into my mouth. Oh.
Stop. You need to refocus. He then sends another voice recording, followed by 2 dinosaur emojis.
I'm focused. I'm trying to make our kid retarded.
Elizabeth continues her document by saying, there is also an individual who has an active restraining order on Adam. Hopefully all other victims and people can speak up and show him he needs to get permanent help and become a better person overall. Thankful for the person who sent me those recordings. That person could tell something was not right and stood up for me. I will forever consider that person family. Lastly, I'm a badass mother. I give my daughter a fantastic life. I will not let this man try and fake fatherly duties when he has none. He has no custody for a reason. He wouldn't even pay child support, then went and flew to see his girlfriend's kids instead of supporting his own. I know change isn't easy, and he's had his chances. I'm just tired of seeing people get hurt from his actions. He needs to change. I am getting help. I am thriving here. Don't worry about my safety or health. I am and will be okay. I love all of you regardless of who you side with. Mental health is not an excuse to abuse in any way, shape, or form. I also want to point out I know Adam came out as non-binary, but he is by far one of the most judgmental and homophobic people I have ever met. He frequently disrespected the LGBTQ+ community and disrespected people of color. I do not begging for money from anyone. I have a job now. I just hope y'all will listen. I provided all of this info and proof, so hopefully some will hear me and hear the voice that was silenced for so long. As for Adam, I hope you own up to your actions and become someone better and safer. Stop lying and manipulating those around you. I will put the rest of my photo evidence below. Thank you for your time. I hope some of you stand with me, or hear at least me. I'm so sorry if I ruin anything for any of you fans. I'm sorry if I have disappointed you by failing to help Adam. I did so much that's not even pictured here. She then ends up showing the proof she has, and oh boy, there's a lot of it. So let's not waste any more time and start here with this message Adam sent to Elizabeth where he says, "Thanks, N-word with an A, just menthols though." She responds, "Excuse me?" He then says sorry, and she says, "Don't say that word." He responds, "Okay." She says, "Not okay." Elizabeth then sends a short video of what I assume is their daughter, and Adam responds by saying, "I want to hold her." She responds, "Well, keep taking care of yourself, and make the moves to get what helps so we can work on making that happen." These next set of messages start out with Elizabeth saying, "I will call the police, Adam. This isn't funny. This is extremely manipulative if you didn't hurt yourself and are just trying to joke." Adam responds with a message that is now redacted, and Elizabeth responds by saying, "I'm calling 911. Adam replies, "Why? Just please let me go. I'm begging you." She responds, "Nope." To which Adam responds, "Calling the police on people isn't okay." These next set of messages start out with Adam saying, "Are we still using my last name?" She responds, "No, I'm sorry." He says, "And I'm not on the certificate, huh?" She says, "I couldn't sign for you. It's illegal." He responds, "I gotta go for a bit." Then she says, "Huh? Adam, I talked to you about this. When I," and then it cuts off. This next one starts with her saying, "Get help. You need to, Adam." Adam responds, "Okay." She responds, "I'm beyond exhausted and still try to help you. I only have fake friends apparently, yet still try to help people. I want you to get better, so please actually get help. It won't just go away." Adam responds, "Fake friends is a song. I know it won't." Next, she shows Adam spam messaging her with dinosaur emojis and missed phone calls, and then she shows herself saying to Adam, "Adam, take this seriously." Adam responds, "I make money, lol," dinosaur emoji. She responds, "Then pay off that debt right now, so I can afford bills. Please." Adam responds with an anime gif. Elizabeth replies, "If you can't help us now and would rather hold on to millions of dollars instead of paying for the priorities, I can't afford to stay forever." Adam responds, "I'll suck yo dick for yo. Will please, BB." She responds, "Stop." Adam responds with another gif, and then she says, "I'm giving you a chance. Take this seriously." Adam responds with a Goku gif, and Elizabeth replies, "Breathe. You have to realize the consequences that will come to fruition. If you do not step up now, I'm serious. This isn't a joke. If you want me to stay, you have to fix this. I'll give you a little to decide." Adam then responds with 2 more gifs, to which she responds, "I don't want money for myself. I don't care. Pay it off. If you really have that much." Adam responds with another gif. Elizabeth says, "I had to pay for your junk food, myself, when we needed proper food. I care about you. Please take care of yourself." Adam responds, "I do 1 a.m. meme, Gara, 3 dinosaur emojis. Baby walk like dinosaur." Elizabeth says, "Saying abortion, that is not okay to say at all. I love you, Adam. Please focus. Please breathe. Please do your 1, 2, 3s and deep breaths. You are strong. Please hear me." Adam responds, "You said it, not me. You were like, we can't have this baby." So I was like, wow. These next set of messages come from Twitter DMs. It starts out with Adam saying, "How many?" Elizabeth responds, "Did you forget her due date? It's this month." Adam responds, "It's been changed like twice." She responds, "No, lol." Adam says, 3 times. She says, "No, it's been the same?" Adam says, "I don't know. I'm bad with birthdays." Elizabeth responds, "Okay, I'm literally going to have her any day now. She's due this month." It's always been set for end of April. She then shows more text messages between the two. It starts out with Adam saying, "Last warning before I stop thinking about you completely outside of fatherly duties." She responds, "Wow, pin it on me? Great job. You called?" Adam responds, "No thanks, XOXO, rip," laughing my ass off. She responds, "Don't insult me. I'm tired of it." Adam responds, "I'm over you too. We are at a spot, huh? Bork bork, woof. I'm done as fuck," laughing my ass off. She responds, "I just want you to stay on your meds, so you can continue to get better. You keep disregarding everything I've explained, and what we can do to make it go smooth. Don't say I'm talking like a spoiled kid, and expect me to just let that happen." He responds, "Oh no, don't kill me again." She then shows that Adam spam called her a million times in a row and sent a shit ton of dinosaur emojis. She then shows another set of texts that start out with Adam saying, "Sorry that happened. Forever? You make me look like a shit person over text, and that's all you can do. Leave me alone." She responds, "You don't prioritize us. You spend money on weed instead of helping me with her medical bills. I care so fucking much about you, Adam, and have done so much for you, and you continuously turn shit on me and won't own up. You've done a lot, and I love you for that." These next set of messages start out with Elizabeth saying, "Me feel calmer? You doxed the mother of your unborn baby. You need to get help. You need to take care of yourself." Adam responds, "I tried to take the medication. I do everything asked of me. Still meanies." She responds, "Shit doesn't just go away overnight, Adam. We tried to tell you to quit weed and mushrooms a long time ago. Glad you don't do mushrooms, but you know better not to take any of it at," and then it cuts off. These next messages start out with Adam saying, I hate. She responds, "Then stop turning on everyone. I didn't do shit. You need to get help, Adam. I want you to heal. Stop coming after me." Adam responds, "I don't make me spin. That was someone else's stupid idea." She responds, "I didn't do anything to cause this." He responds, "I don't want anything to do with you." She responds, like, "I want to die. You." "So does this other person." Completely disregarding what I just said. "No, it's not. Stop. You are mean. Leave me alone." He responds, "Because no one wants to hear that you want to die when we all do too." These next set of messages start with Elizabeth saying, "You can't just give up on her? Adam, what the fuck are you doing? I told you many times how to fix this." Adam responds, "I'm adopting a child and starting the family I want. You are welcome to join. So is Mason. So is our daughter." She responds, "Adam, you need to focus on yours right now and getting better for your kids." She then shows Adam spam messaging her on Facebook, saying stuff like, "And I'll find some way. Okay then, you bring me my child or I never speak to you again. You are making me more upset. Then let me visit or you come visit." These next set of messages start out with her saying, "JFC Adam, I told you if you are medicated then it'd be fine, because I fucking care about you, and don't want something to happen when you were here. Stop. Stop trying to make me look evil, for wanting you to be better. I never once said you couldn't, so grow up. I am being an adult about this." Adam then responds by changing the chat theme to grape. Next, we have Adam sending a peace emoji to Elizabeth. She responds, "Adam, I have bad service. Please stop trying to make me look bad. I'm not evil." Adam responds, "You are making me upset." She responds, "I'm literally not doing anything or being rude." Adam responds, "Then let me visit or come visit with my kid, or I'm gonna keep getting mad when you even talk to me." These next set of messages are from Discord. It starts out with Elizabeth saying, "Like when you were in an episode and you yanked me out of bed, and I yelled because I fell forward, and it hurt my arm. She didn't come to see if I was okay. Went over anyway, even though I told her I didn't want people over. I don't know why I bother messaging. I'm just gonna block this too before I cry again. Take care." Adam responds, "But I didn't yank your arm. I was gentle. At least I thought I was." Elizabeth responds, "Wasn't gentle. You pulled me out of bed when I was laying down. Fast." Adam responds, "I didn't leave a mark or anything. I genuinely thought it was gentle. I'm sorry." Next, he shows messages he screenshotted from Adam's phone, where he's talking to another girl on Discord while they are still dating. It starts out with Adam saying, "Nah." The girl responds, "Aw, I'm sorry. Well, if you get bored today, I'm here." Adam responds, "I wish." She responds, Adam then responds with what I assume is an attempt at sexting roleplay. He says, "Dances like Ariana, break up with your BF. 'Cause I'm bored." Wiggles up and down. She responds, "I'm not really comfortable with that, Adam." Adam responds, "Sorry, won't happen again." She then shows a bunch of images of the house being a mess due to Adam. And finally, we are going to take a look at the details of the police report that Elizabeth mentioned in her document earlier. It was a domestic case that happened on February 15th, 2021. The first charge is malicious mischief, third-degree domestic violence, damage to private property, and the second charge is harassment, threat to kill, domestic violence. Summary: mental/emotional subject /roommate's mattress and issued threats. subject taken into protective custody. It then shows that the subject is Adam, and the two victims are his roommate and Elizabeth. Narrative. On February 2021 at approximately 11:06 hours, I was dispatched a fire assist at Redacted. Reporting party Redacted advised dispatch that Adam Dahlberg was destroying his house, making threats. Redacted advised she was calling from Seattle, but Adam's girlfriend Elizabeth should be there. Upon arrival, I walked to the house. I didn't hear or see any signs of a disturbance. I had Redacted ask the roommate to come outside. Prior to her doing that, Officer M arrived on the scene. Together, we walked towards the front door. When we walked up the steps, we were greeted by Adam and his roommate. I initially asked them what was going on. I believe the roommate was hesitant to speak in front of Adam. I asked the roommate to walk down the steps and speak with Officer M, which she did. While they spoke, I spoke with Adam. He was initially calm and responsive to my questions. I asked him what was going on today, and he said they were doing some spring cleaning. I asked if he had any idea why we were here, and he told me he wasn't sure. I asked him if he had an argument with his roommate, and he said they had. I asked what the argument was about, and he told me it was about the cleaning. I asked if there was any physical conflict, and he told me there hadn't been. I asked him if anything had been damaged, and he told there wasn't. I then asked to step inside his home, and he agreed. I initially noticed the house was in disarray, but nothing was obviously damaged. He said the mess was due to the cleaning. Officer M and the roommate then walked in the house. Officer M and the roommate walked down the hallway and spoke. I noticed Adam's demeanor then began to change. He started saying he was angry I was in his house without knocking. I told him that he invited me and that the roommate had invited the other officer. He continued to get angry over the issue. To calm him down, I reached behind me and knocked on the wall. He thanked me and gave me a Christmas bow. He then began to ramble on about God, video games, his son, his rights, and nuclear power. He couldn't stay on topic, and he wasn't making any sense to me. I made numerous attempts to de-escalate his behavior by asking about what he was saying. Each time I asked a question, he would get angry and change the topic. He would raise his voice at random times and then be calm. Officer M eventually told me she was going to involuntarily commit him to the hospital. She asked him to turn around and he did. I placed him in handcuffs, checked for fit, and double locked them. I searched the right side of his body and found no weapons. Officer M told me she searched the left side. I then assisted Officer M with escorting Adam to her car. While doing this, Adam shouted random things about colors and numbers and other things I couldn't understand. Based on Adam's behavior, I decided to meet Officer M at the hospital. Once arrived, I assisted with escorting Adam into his hospital room. The entire time we were doing that, Adam continued to shout and insult us. Although we had notified Redacted prior to leaving Adam's house, security was not on scene to assist us. Inside the hospital room, Adam continued to yell nonsensical things. He kept standing up from his bed. I felt his efforts to stand up were a precursor to him trying to run out of the room, which presented a threat to his safety and those of the hospital staff. On one occasion, he stood up from the bed. I told him to sit down. He turned towards me and approached me while saying, "Or what?" The size of the room required me to be in close proximity to him. I feared he was preparing to assault me or spit on me. I placed my hands on his shoulders to press him towards the bed. When I did that, he attempted to spin away from me towards the open doorway. I grabbed a hold of his arms by the forearm/elbow area and pressed him against the wall. Officer M then entered the room and grabbed a hold of his left arm, while I transitioned to grabbing his right arm. Adam suddenly threw himself backwards onto the bed. By this time, a security officer had arrived and assisted with controlling Adam. I stood by until more security officers came. Once they had him under control and restrained to the bed, I removed my handcuffs. I then left the hospital. This ends my involvement in this case. We also have a statement from the other officer on the scene. It says, "On February 15th, 2021, at 11:06 hours, I was on routine patrol in my marked patrol vehicle and department-issued uniform, operating as call sign 182. I received a report of a mental/emotional subject said to be destroying his house and making threats. This occurring at Redacted. The caller, Redacted, stated that her son Adam Dahlberg lives in the home with the roommates and his girlfriend Elizabeth. Upon arrival, the other officer and I contacted Redacted, and shortly thereafter Adam himself. I spoke with Adam's roommate who stated that Adam had recently been discharged from the hospital, estimated within a week's time. For about the last 36 hours, he has not slept, and has been making paranoid statements and acting strangely. He made multiple threats about his roommates, saying to one of them that when they came home, he would kill them. He did not mention any means as how he would do it, nor had he said it specifically to any of his roommates. She added about 30 minutes prior to police arrival, Adam had slashed her roommate's mattress with a knife. I asked to see the mattress and observed observed a gash about 12 inches long that had sliced through the sheet, mattress cover, and mattress pad. I asked the roommate if she felt safe in the home with Adam. She stated she did not, referencing his paranoid talk, how he kept saying that he was going to kill his roommates, throwing items all over the house, and that he slashed the mattress. I asked her if he takes any medications. She said he is prescribed medications but refuses to take them. The home was in disarray, which the roommate confirmed was Adam's doing, along with some household items that had been thrown out into the snow. The other officer spoke with Adam, who initially was calm and cooperative. Adam told the officer that he and the roommate had argued earlier, but that nothing else was of issue. Based upon the actions and threats made by Adam, it is believed that he is a threat to others. He therefore meets the criteria set forth by the Washington State Involuntary Treatment Act. I informed Dahlberg that he was in protective custody and would be taken to the hospital. He was not happy about this and became verbal with us. I placed him into a compliant cuffing stance, and the other officer affixed his handcuffs to Adam's wrists. I frisked Adam and found nothing on his person. In escorting Adam to my patrol vehicle, he was rambling about colors and numbers, laughing oddly and randomly, and issued verbal assaults at times. Inside my patrol vehicle, he yelled and screamed during the transport to the hospital. Upon arrival at the hospital, the other officer and I escorted Adam to his room in the ER. Several times he was instructed to sit on the bed so that the handcuffs could be removed. He was non-compliant, getting up, sitting down, etc. We elected to wait until hospital security arrived to assist. However, in waiting, Adam turned on the other officer and came at him aggressively as I was giving the short report to the intake nurse. The other officer and I used de minimis force to restrain Adam until hospital security could take over their patient. We pushed Adam up against the wall to control his arms and then assisted him to the bed. Adam tossed himself backwards, falling onto the bed, then proceeded to wiggle around on his own before sitting up. I maintained control of his left arm, in an escort position. Hospital security arrived shortly thereafter. I noticed that Adam had scratches on his back, believed to be initially when Adam tossed himself back onto the bed. A picture of Adam's scratches was taken and uploaded. He sustained no other visible or articulated injury. I later contacted Redacted, who informed me that Adam had been diagnosed with bipolar and schizoaffective disorder. She was concerned for his welfare. I asked her why she called 911. She stated that the roommate had contacted her, expressing fear for her life and Adam's behavior and threats to harm his roommates. She asked her to call 911 because she was too afraid to. I contacted Adam and his roommate by phone. He was made aware of the incident by Redacted. He reaffirmed that he was not home at the time and did not believe or fear Adam's threats. He further knew of the mattress being damaged and elected to not prosecute. Elizabeth then ends off her statement by saying, "Lastly, I'm tired of Adam pretending he has met my daughter or done anything at all. Adam is letting his current fiancée, who was a witness and fake friend, be assumed by those online to be the mother of my child. I am sick of feeling alone or afraid of coming forward." And that's the end of Elizabeth's statement. Definitely a long one, but I think a necessary one to see who Adam truly is behind the scenes. After Elizabeth released her statement, a bunch of other colleagues and friends of SkyDoesMinecraft ended up making their own statements. So if you were interested in hearing me read those as well, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, as well as any other thoughts you may have on this situation. I knew SkyDoesMinecraft had mental problems, but for me this was definitely a shock to hear. But I'm glad that this information came out, as it may give Elizabeth peace of mind, as well as give other people involved in Adam's life a fair warning at his behavior and what it can turn into. Hopefully he gets better, but we just have to wait and see. Anyways, that's about it for the video. I'll see you guys later.